welcome to Night School, the playlist that will help you improve Age of Empires 2. So what we're looking at today are build orders, and we're looking at the fast castle into a boom. So to start off with, you just create 2 houses as usual with your starting villagers, and then send them over to sheep, and you keep sending any new villagers over to the sheep until you've got a total of 6. So the fast castle boom build order, can't get my words out, is the #1 strategy that new players need to learn before progressing on to anything else. So there's some real big advantages to this strategy, certainly at newer levels. It just shows or teaches you how to sort of manage your economy and get a big economy going, so that you can have plenty of resources in the bank and start thinking about producing army a bit later on. So it's very much about the macro side of it as opposed to micro with this build order. So once you've got your 6 on sheep, send the next 4 villagers over to wood and build a lumber camp, as we are doing here. So it's really good because a lot of newer players like to play maps such as Black Forest or Arena, those sort of closed off maps. So this is fantastic for those, because really you want to just be getting up as quickly as possible to a point where you can make siege and start getting through the walls. So you're going to have that time to get a boom going and get a good economy going, so then you can build a really big army and keep maintaining that army going forward, because it's okay having a big army, but if you've not got the economy behind it to maintain it and reinforce it when you start losing soldiers, you're going to be in a bit of trouble. So if you can get a big eco together, you're onto a winner. So the next villager to come out is going to lure a boar, now that we have the 4 on the wood. And your next villager after this one is going to go up towards the berries and make 2 houses. And then the next 4 villagers are going to go to berries. So once that villager has completed the houses, that one's going to go to berries as well. So you'll end up with 5 on berries. So yeah, this is definitely the map that the tactic new players need to learn first. So when your boar gets down to around 100 to 150, depending on how far away your other boar is, you need to send one of your villagers out to go and get the next boar and drag that one back to your town centre as well. So at this point we're at about 100, so we should hopefully see a villager go out there soon. There we go. So a little bit later than I've just mentioned, but the boar's really close to the town centre, so you can afford to leave it a little bit finally. So now we've got 5 on the berries. What we're going to do is send the next 2 to collect from the boar. Just make sure you keep scanning the map at this point, because we need to start looking at where the enemy is. Trying to find them, scout their base, find out what their tactic is. So with the 2 weakened villagers, you need to take them off of the boar and place farms. So at this point we should have 7 on boar, 2 farms, 5 on berries and 4 on wood. So the next 5 villagers to come out are going to go to wood as well, and they're going to make a second lumber camp. So we're going to go to this wood line here. So the reason why we're doing that and not just sending them up to here is because they'll be a lot more efficient working off a lumber camp rather than having 9 villagers over here all fighting for space and bumping into each other and just generally getting slowed down. So it just makes it a lot more efficient. So in the long run, although you're spending 100 wood, you'll probably end up getting that back quite easily. So once your boards ran out, just send some sheep over. Make sure that your villagers are constantly collecting food. I've just got 1 more to come out for the wood. Make another house sort of around this sort of point, because you're going to end up getting housed if you don't. So the next 3 villages are going to go to gold. They're going to make a mining camp. Then we're going to get Loom, and then we're going to go advance to the feudal age. Potentially with this build order, if you're playing on Black Forest or you're playing on Arena, you don't necessarily need to get Loom at this point, because it's more important to get to the castle age as quickly as possible. So because your base is all closed in, you don't need Loom, because you're not going to get attacked and you're not going to lose any villagers. So you could ignore that, and that's going to save you 25 seconds, which is quite important. Every second counts in this game. But because this is Arabia, it's a bit of an open map, we want to make sure we've got Loom so that our villagers don't die so easily if we do get attacked, which we probably will do. So we're advancing to the feudal age now. So once you've clicked up to the feudal age, you want to start thinking about moving some of those villagers from the sheep to create farms. So we've just taken 4 off of there at this point, so we've still got another 3 just collecting the sheep. But those 3 remaining ones are also going to make farms once that sheep has finished. I'm just going to speed the game up a little bit, just so we can wait for feudal age to come in. As you can see, they're just getting the farms down. So it's good to get 2 villagers queued up. The next 2 villagers that come out are going to go to wood. And what you need to do is to take 3 villagers from wood, and you need to make a market and a blacksmith. Make sure that 2 of the villagers are creating the market and the other one is building the blacksmith. So the market takes a lot longer to build than a blacksmith, which is why we need 2 villagers on there. So by the time the blacksmith, the market and these 2 villagers have popped out, they should all complete at roughly the same time, so that we can just click the castle age upgrade straight away and start researching that as soon as all these have been built and these villagers out, as you can see there. So we had plenty of resources banked, so we were able to do that quite comfortably. So I'm just taking another villager just to make a couple of houses. As you can see, we're getting a bit low, and just start walling up a little bit just in case there is a raid of some sort. So if you're trying this tactic on an open map, you're going to want to start walling up a lot sooner than this, really, just to protect your economy. Fast castle on an open map is generally quite risky, because I mean, as you can see here, there's a lot of places that I would need to wall. And certainly around here, I've not got any villagers handy that if I did wall around here and they broke in, I wouldn't be able to get it repaired in time. So that's why fast castle is not the best thing to do on Arabia. Really, we want to go for a more aggressive tactic, such as archers or scouts, which you can also find in the playlist. So as soon as we hit up to the castle age, what we're going to do is make 2 town centres. So we're going to be able to get a big economy boom going. So we're going to make one there, and we're also going to make one on the gold here. So any new villagers for now can just go to wood. And the reason why you need to put them here and here is just so that, you know, they really need to be on some resources. If you're just putting them in the middle of nowhere, what benefit are you getting from that? From here, if we're collecting resources from the wood, we're collecting resources from the stone, and we're also getting some farms down. If we get raided, we can garrison those villages quite easily into the town centre. Whereas if we had a town centre here, we had a lumber camp here and a mining camp here, those villages are exposed and could quite easily die. Basically. So especially if they've got quite a distance to run over to either this town centre or the one up here. So you don't want to be doing that. Make sure they're on the resources, and it just makes things a little bit easier. But that's it for this one. Try and get up to about 100 villagers or more, 120 perhaps, and then you'll have a really good economy. That's it. Thanks guys. I'll see you on the next one.